Sometimes, the people we love the most give us the deepest pain. She thought her love would last forever. She thought happiness was waiting when she told him the news. But instead, he said no. My name is Sarah. I am 26 years old. For the past 2 years, I lived with a dream in my heart. That dream was my love for Daniel. Daniel was everything to me. He was kind, smart, and handsome. At least, that is what I believed. We met at university, and after graduation, we started living together. I thought my life was complete. I thought I had found the man who would stand by me in every situation. Life was not always easy. We did not have much money. Daniel was still searching for a good job. I worked in a small office, typing and answering calls. Every month I tried to save a little, dreaming of a family, dreaming of a small home filled with laughter. One morning, I felt sick. I thought it was just stress. But the days passed, and the sickness stayed. Finally, I went to the doctor. After some tests, she smiled and said the words that made my heart stop. Congratulations, Sarah. You are pregnant. Pregnant. The word echoed inside my head. My hands shook. My eyes filled with tears, not of fear, but of joy. I imagined a small baby in my arms. A tiny face, tiny hands. A part of me, and a part of Daniel. That evening, I waited for him to come home. I cooked his favorite dinner, lit a small candle, and smiled every time I thought about the surprise I was going to give him. When he walked in, I hugged him tightly. Daniel, I have something to tell you, I whispered. He looked at me, tired from his day, but curious. What is it, Sarah? My heart beat fast. I took his hand and placed it gently on my stomach. Daniel, we are going to have a baby. Moment, silence filled the room. I expected his face to light up with joy. I expected him to kiss me and hold me. But instead, his eyes grew dark. His hand pulled away. What did you say? His voice was sharp. I'm pregnant, I said softly. We're going to be parents. He stood up quickly, his chair falling back. No, Sarah. I can't do this. I don't want to be a father. The words stabbed my heart. I froze, unable to breathe. What do you mean? This is our baby. He shook his head. I'm not ready. I have no job, no money, no future. I can't take care of you and a child. I can't do this. Tears burned my eyes. Daniel, please, this is our chance to build a family. We will manage somehow. We will fight together. But his face was cold. His voice was final. No. I don't want this. I don't want to be a father. You have to understand. I broke. My legs felt weak, and I sat on the floor, holding my stomach, holding the life inside me. He walked away, leaving me in tears. The dinner grew cold. The candle burned out. That night, I did not sleep. I lay awake, listening to the sound of my own sobs. I touched my belly again and again, whispering, "Don't worry, little one. I am here. I will protect you." But inside, I was terrified. How would I raise a child alone? How would I face the world? What would my family say? The days that followed were heavy with silence. Daniel avoided me. He stayed out late, sometimes not coming home at all. When he was there, he spoke little, and his eyes carried blame instead of love. I started to feel lonely in a way I had never felt before. The house was filled with his presence, but his heart was far away. At work, I tried to hide my sadness, but my friends noticed. "Sarah, are you okay?" they asked. I only smiled weakly and said, "I'm fine." But inside, I was breaking. At night, I sat by the window, touching my stomach, talking to my unborn child. "Your father doesn't want you, but I do. You are my light now. You are my reason to stay strong." Every kick, every small movement reminded me that life was growing inside me. But with that life came fear. Bills were piling up. My salary was small. My body grew weaker every day. And Daniel was still distant, sometimes angry, sometimes completely silent. One evening, after another long day, I tried to talk to him again. "Daniel, please, I need your support. I can't do this alone." He looked at me, his jaw tight. "I told you already, Sarah. I don't want this child. If you keep it, then, you are on your own." My heart shattered again. Alone. The word echoed in my head. Could I really raise this child without him? Could I carry all this pain and responsibility? That night, I cried until my pillow was wet. My hands held my belly as if I could shield my child from the pain in my heart. And then, in the silence of the night, a thought came to me. Maybe he would never change. Maybe I had to be strong, not for him, but for myself, and for the baby. But how? How could I do this all alone? She thought her world had ended when he said no. But destiny was not finished with her yet. The days after Daniel's rejection felt endless. Every morning, I woke up hoping it was a bad dream. But the truth sat heavy inside me, both the pain in my heart and the tiny life growing in my body. Daniel grew more distant. He came home less and less. Sometimes, when he did return, he smelled of alcohol. Other times, he avoided my eyes, acting as if I was invisible. One night, I finally asked him, "Daniel, do you love me at all anymore?" His silence was louder than any words. He picked up his jacket and walked out. The door slammed, and I knew he had already left me, even if his body was still here. I wanted to scream. I wanted to beg. But I couldn't. I was too tired. My tears fell quietly as I held my belly and whispered, "We don't need him. We will survive." The months passed slowly. My body changed, and the world around me grew heavy with whispers. My co-workers noticed. My neighbors noticed. And soon, my family noticed. One Sunday, my mother called. "Sarah, why didn't you tell me? Why didn't you say you are pregnant?" Her voice was filled with both worry and love. I broke down. I told her everything: Daniel's refusal, his cold heart, my loneliness. She was silent for a moment. Then she said, "Listen to me, Sarah. You are not alone. You have me. You have us. If he cannot be a man, then we will help you raise this child." Heart softened. Tears of relief ran down my cheeks. I realized then that sometimes, love comes from unexpected places. Daniel had shut his heart, but my mother opened hers wider than ever. Still, life was not easy. Money was tight. Doctor visits, medicines, baby clothes, all were expensive. At work, my energy grew weaker. Some days I wanted to give up. But then, the baby would kick, and I would smile through my tears. At night, I prayed, "God, give me strength. Protect this child. Help me be strong enough." Slowly, I started to accept a new truth: I would be both mother and father. I would fight for my child, no matter the cost. One cold evening, near the 7th month of my pregnancy, Daniel came home unexpectedly. His face was hard, but his eyes were tired. "I don't know why you're still keeping this baby," he muttered. "You're making a mistake." I stood up, my hand on my stomach. For the first time, my voice did not shake. "No, Daniel. The mistake was believing you would be by my side. This baby is not a mistake. This baby is a blessing. And even if I have to do this alone, I will never regret it." He looked at me for a long moment, but there was no warmth in his eyes. Without a word, he turned and left again. That was the last time I saw him. The final weeks were the hardest. My back ached. My feet swelled. Nights were sleepless. Fear tried to take over, but I kept fighting. Every time I felt the baby move, I whispered, "We're almost there, little one. Just a little longer." Finally, the day came. The pains began suddenly, sharp and powerful. My mother rushed me to the hospital. Hours felt like forever, but I held on. And then, with a cry louder than my pain, my baby entered the world. Little girl. When the nurse placed her in my arms, my heart broke and healed at the same time. Her tiny fingers wrapped around mine, her eyes closed in peaceful sleep. I whispered, "You are my miracle. You are my reason to live." In that moment, all the pain, all the rejection, all the loneliness faded. Yes, Daniel had said no. But she, my daughter, was my eternal yes. Life after her birth was not easy. Nights were long, filled with cries and little sleep. Days were busy with work and endless responsibilities. But every smile, every giggle, every small hand reaching for me gave me strength. One day, as I rocked her to sleep, I looked out the window and whispered, "Daniel, you may never know what you lost. You walked away, but I found something greater than your love. I found the love of a child who depends on me, who trusts me, who loves me without conditions." Years passed. My daughter grew, step by step, word by word. She became my best friend, my companion, my little sunshine. Sometimes she would ask, "Mama, where is Daddy?" I would smile softly and say, "He chose another path. But you and I, we are strong together." Inside, a part of me still carried the scar of Daniel's rejection. But I also carried pride. I had survived. I had raised a child on my own. I had turned pain into strength. So, this is my story. The story of when he said no. He said no to being a father. He said no to responsibility. He said no to love. But I said yes. Yes to life. Yes to courage. Yes to a future with my daughter. Sometimes, when people turn away, destiny gives us a chance to discover our true strength. I thought I was broken, but I was only beginning to rise. He said no, but I found my yes. Hope you enjoyed this story. Have you ever experienced? Share your stories with us in the comments below. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more stories and adventures. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.